Mm. So we got something interesting that happened. You know, I've already been used to this kind of situation where people copying Mushoku Tensei. When you're that good, of course, people are going to copy you and try to create your formula. Because that's what happens when you're at the top, baby. I need to stop. But yes, so apparently, this Korean web novel studio called Blue Line Studio that does webtoons on Naver is being accused of using AI generated images for its latest book, Korean webtoon, which is called, let's see what the thing called. It's called The Night King. Really? The Night King Who Returned with a God and stuff. And people think is using AI generate images to make it. Because you look at the first images everyone that's spreading around, you see where Rudius is first popped into the six-sided world, where he's a baby and he's all surprised, and then you see someone who's making the same pose as Zenith. But be honest, this is where it ends when it comes to that copy. And of course, some are also pointing out that one of the characters look like Groot from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, this was heavily bashed from all over the world. I am dead serious. It was bashing China, it was bashed in America, and it's being bashed, of course, in Japan and even Korea itself. But Shoko Tensei is that popular. So it was so bad that this thing actually gained 1.91 on its score for its first chapter among those 600, and I mean 600 first debut chapters. Yes, webtoons are being made by the masses. People think manga is a big rush over. When into webtoons becomes extremely popular, then you'll see a big rush of endless reading. I guarantee you. I don't know how many webtoons I'm reading right now, but it's more than I can count. I'm surprised I'm keeping up with most of them anyway. So yes, um, this video ain't gonna be long because all you gotta say is two things, really. Two things. So let's talk about the Mushoku Tensei side. I'm not surprised because this is the first time someone's tried to copy the Mushoku Tensei formula. To be honest with you, when we got the images, I did look at the raws of this, and it really ends where it happens. There is no actual continued copy of Rui's adventure. In fact, it skims through it really fast compared to Rudius, and I think this is where a lot of the people who try to copy Mushoku Tensei fails. They want to skip the childhood development and go straight into the power fantasy of them being most of the times a teenager in a school that's overpowered that gets all the girls. Thing is they fail to realize that that's just generic isekai tropes. It's just power fantasy, and it loses its true value and substance. It makes Mushoku Tensei so amazing. You know, you see Rudius grow as a character. You see him as a baby, as a toddler, as a child, as a preteen, as a teenager, and as a fully grown adult, and as an old man, and even as a grandpa. You see his entire life. You're not skipping towards it because you want to get to the good stuff, which is just generic high school hijinks that you just want to butt in, which, in my opinion, is not even the good stuff. And plus, you have him as center of attention as a character that's just too overpowered that he doesn't really need anybody else. Despite how talented Rudius is, he is not the all-powerful in that world. There are tons of people who can kick his butt, and because of that, people can relate to him. He can bring people together as he learns to try to understand them. Not because he's all cool and powerful, and he is impressive, but some people even know that he is impressive, still show some sort of disdain around him because he just gives off this eerie feeling which he still has lingering inside of him, which is good about this character, you know. So let's talk about some bad ones. For instance, the Wiseman grandchild. Y'all remember that one? Oh yeah, I remember ripping that one apart. Jesus, that was god awful. You know, he just walked into traffic. They didn't pay attention where he was going. Just walked in traffic, even though the light wasn't even freaking green. And he wakes up as a baby being trained, luckily being around all these amazing people since birth, having this large amounts of mana, and he just knows how to. I'm sorry, I'm losing control of this conversation, but I just have to do it. And he just somehow can create all these inventions, even though he was a regular salaryman. He knows how every piece of technology works. Just because I have a radio doesn't mean I know how to make one. Just because I have all this, that's the thing I never understood about White and Grandchild. Even Rudius, who tried to bring back inventions, and some he was only a small portion of inventions he was able to bring into that world, because he didn't understand how to make them. And even then, he kept going through tons of trials and errors. But in these animes, even when the dude was in high school, he just knew how to make all of them so easily without even trying. It was just so stupid. Gosh, and it was just dumb. They made everything centered around him. Then next you have even the lesser one, and that is BA-san. Are you kidding me? One where it didn't even need to be an easy guy. This dude was just making food, and all of a sudden, I don't know, he sleeps. I don't know, then he wakes up as a kid, and now he realizes he's a son. Now, but all of a sudden, he gains power and wealth and a harem, and it was just once again god awful. It was just dumb. Even the development with the girls he's with. Once again, there's no development with these girls. With Rudy, it's and everything. Rudy, it was easy with Selphie because Selphie had no one to rely on. So that was a trial, a tutorial. With Eris was hard because Eris didn't just let anyone into her heart. And even then, Rudy's had to take years to actually gain Eris' trust and admiration because that was amazing. So even then, he didn't really end up with Eris until like the very, very end, like season 3. But then there's Selphie, and then of course Roxy and stuff, which was unexpected. There's tons of stuff they didn't understand. But then these things don't understand. So why am I blowing off here? I'm blowing off here because this is the first time a Korean webtoon tried to copy Mushoku Tensei, and that's also with Beginning After the End. Yeah, I love Beginning After the End. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's good, but even it has its flaws of doing its character, where it's a king who's reincarnated as a new thing, a person, but he still gathers too much attention on him, where it's just screws up. He puts himself higher up, even with the kings and queens, anyways. So like, you wanted to live a simple life, but you're not living a simple life. So what's the freaking point of reincarnating? But it's so good. So let's talk about the AI part, which I actually would like to do its own video on later on down the line. This is what people are also upset about, is using AI art. If you haven't noticed on Twitter, and mainly Twitter, a lot of people don't like it when you support AI or you talk about it or you question what's so bad about it. And I can see why people see it as bad because it's a threat to their jobs and stuff and replacement, which is true. But again, like I said, I want to do a video about this very badly, but that's the main reason why people are upset about this. They see it as a form of cheating, in a way. You're taking the easy way out. You're not sitting there drawing and stuff like that, doing all the hard stuff. So, which is true. But that's why they're angry. That it's just, it feels like it's not its own story. But even then, for all these reincarnations, why is it always medieval times for these people? Why every time someone gets isekai or reincarnate, it's always medieval times? Do you people have an imagination? This is why I'm upset about. I'm upset with the lack of imagination when it comes to these, hundreds upon thousands of people out there creating these web novels, comic books, and webtoons, and manga. How come when you do your isekais and reincarnations, why is it always, and I do mean always, medieval times, Western medieval times? The Dungeons, the Dragons, the Fairies and Elves, you can do so much more, but you always want to stick with that. Why can't someone do a Japanese, a weird, or even a futuristic one, or one different kind of past, a city, metropolis, something, a different kind of world altogether of aliens and stuff. You can do so much with the reincarnation thing, but all you want to do is the same old Dungeons and Dragons, medieval, Swords and magic bullcrap. I can't stand it. This is why I feel like this. It's once again we have another repetitive, unimaginative bullcrap. We have enough. We have enough of this, people. We don't need any more. If you want to make an isekai, a reincarnation story, yeah, sure, why not? Go ahead, but please, it doesn't always have to be swords and magic all the time. Why can't it be laser pistols and spaceships? It don't have to be in space. It can be a futuristic world instead, or a parallel world where things are the same but yet different. So many things you can do. The thing is just, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. But that's what I'm mad about. I just want to get that out at the end, at the very end, because that's how I feel. I'm just upset with the uncreativity that I have been seeing lately. Very displeasing. Bad taste in my mouth. Ugh. So anyways, look at this video. I think it is Memorial Day. I might be busy Memorial Day. We are just going out to eat, and if I'm full and I feel like doing nothing, I'll probably do it Tuesday. But I will do a video talking about AI art and generated stuff, because I feel like I just really want to get this on my chest, whether people agree with me on it or not. I just want to do it. So anyway, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and of course hit that bell icon. This has been the background on Maname. Signing out.